Nice guys don't speak the language of players or club con men. They prefer genuine language to lies, and for most of you under the age of 30, it very well might be that you've never even heard, let alone understand, the language I'm talking about. It's the language of always being the first to pick up your pencil in class when you drop it. Or remembering that your aunt was in the hospital, even though you've only mentioned that to a fellow coworker. It's in his planning rather than expecting. It's in his listening rather than telling. Modern women have been so frequently exposed to male fool's gold that when solid platinum is placed right before their eyes, they often can't even tell the difference. Let's be honest, there's a scroll-like list of reasons why modern women fly like moth to flame to mediocre men. Most women today just don't feel like they're worth much more. And then there's daddy issues, and then there's the ones that just seem simply intent on being mistreated martyrs when it comes to love. That's all true when you know it. And then there's the rest of you. Smart, well-rounded, quick to laugh, beautiful, waiting on the guy that you think's just too good to be true and then one day isn't. Some of you have had a few close calls, a few almost theirs. Some of you might have even had if the timing was only right. And then there's this, and I'm just gonna shoot you straight, ladies, the tattooed, silver-tongued bad boys that would be so great if you could just fix them. You can't. You can't. If you really truly think that you're ever gonna turn a two-faced thug into a put a ring on your finger, walk down the domestic aisle guy, you might as well just stop watching the video right now, hit me up in a few years or a few heartbreaks later, whichever one comes first, sadly. It's important that you scrub that crap completely from your mind, start over. All the feminist crap you have from college, scrub it. All the stuff you've been told from modern movies, cinema, and television, scrub it. In your gut, what you really want, what your grandmother had, that unconditional, timeless love, all that modernist poison they pumped into your head is crippling you. Here's the thing, nice guys are typically well raised. They don't just love their mothers, they respect her in action. Nice guys have a good relationship with their father, and if they don't have a father, be leery. I'm sorry, I know that there are exceptions and they do exist, but the odds drastically decrease if he didn't have a strong male influence in his life that showed him how to love and respect a woman in practice, in daily practice. Stuff's hard to hear, I know your modern sensibilities are pushing back on it. Stay with me. This is truth. This is true serum right here. Nice guys are friends with other nice guys. If you smell the stink of self-obsessed scumbag on his friends, turn around and run the other direction. Run very, very fast. If he has good men holding him accountable, edifying him, just pushing him towards being a good man, that's exactly what he'll likely be, and the reverse is also true. Marriable men are a product of discipline, choices, and character. They make conscious decisions to be the men that God called them to be every day. It's a lifetime of discipline, mind, body, and soul, choosing to be a good man. Fighting some of those masculine devils that just sort of come with the DNA that erode our character, and then proudly honing the male instinct to protect, to honor, to lead his family. And women need to recognize the role that they've played in this modern mess we call relationships. In generations past, the masculine nature had an appropriate feminine pushback. For every young man trying to round the corners of first date bases, there was a young lady with enough foresight, enough self-respect to push back on such hasty and hollow physical advance. They understood that passions and lust came cheap, but reverence, commitment, that was rare, and they thought themselves worthy of that honor. Today, women set the bar so low it's hard to remember there ever was a bar that existed in the first place. Among the laundry list of things that modern women have either forgotten or been brainwashed into ignoring is the fact that men rise to the standards set for them. Where nothing is expected, nothing will be found, especially when a man is deciding who he's going to marry. He will rise to the expectation set before him. If she values her body, so will he. If she respects herself, so will he. If she sees herself as a prize to be earned, and she should, so will he. If this strikes the modern listener as archaic or old-fashioned, that's because it is. But that in and of itself is by no means a case against the truthfulness of this advice. This is watertight solid. Seriously, look around you. Look at the world that you're living in. Do you see chivalry? Do you see class? Do you see commitment? Do you see men and women that even half stack up to our grandfathers or grandmothers in class? Despite our modern self-delusions that we're somehow moving forward or progressing, the facts right before our eyes are a slap-in-the-face rebuke. The internal desires of men and women have not changed. The nature of men and women have not changed. Only our ability and willingness to see reality has changed. Millions of unsatisfied women are frustrated in their fruitless search to find a solid, good man to fulfill their dreams of a family. They find themselves lost and longing because they've been following a modernist roadmap drawn by wisdomless, progressive fools. Give your grandmother a call. Ask her to have tea with you. Listen to the wisdom that she has for you. Let her fill your head with the truth, wisdom, the common sense, the age-old tested stuff about family, about men, about relationships, about rearing children. You do that. And then you watch your circumstances by way of finding a nice guy progress.